Human Hope listeners, I need you to be listening to the Where We Are podcast with my friends Michael and Melissa Ware. Now, I'll tell you all about Michael and Melissa in a second, but the one reason why I know Michael is because when I got invited to sing at the White House at the Easter prayer breakfast, Michael was one of the people involved, and I got to meet Michael, who was working on the White House staff for the President of the United States of America. And Michael, now you can understand, he's a lead strategist and European affairs specialist that him and his wife host this incredible podcast. Their last name is WEAR, called Where We Are. And on the podcast, every single Sunday, they release a long form episode, featuring marital chatter about the latest in politics, faith, and family life. And then Monday through Thursdays, Michael shares 5-minute episodes featuring current news and events in the political realm in a consumable and easy to understand way. You guys, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. And also, to join their newsletter, visit reclaiminghope.substack.com. Now on to the show. Oh. All right, friends and fam, this is Carlos Enrique Whittaker Guzman and Chabot Cabello. This is episode 88 of the Human Hope podcast. It is December 8th, and I got one single question for you. Y'all ready for this? Come on. Hey. Bounce with me. Come on. Bounce with me. Oh yeah, that's a good one. That was a solid one. Man, were your shoulders bouncing? Were you dapping? Were you doing all the things? Welcome to, we're getting close to the end here. We're getting close to the end of the year. I don't want to make any New Year's resolutions. I don't want to. Are y'all resolution people? I am not. I'm not a resolution person. But I did make a resolution, a year and a half ago to start a podcast, and we're still here. So that's good. If you're on the YouTube channel, watch this. Watch behind me. Hey, that's pretty cool. So if you're new to the podcast, we are streaming on YouTube as well. So you guys can go to humanhopevideo.com and see my new little on-air sign that is behind me, that my friends and family at the That Sounds Fun Network, which is where we're a part of. The Human Hope podcast is a part of that network. They got me this sign for Christmas. Isn't it so cute? At our little Christmas party. And, you guys got to hear that notification on my phone because my phone is attached to my soundboard mixer because I'm going to be playing something off the phone. But now you get to hear what my notifications sound like. So Merry Christmas. I'll turn that down. But also, I just want to, this is the just official time I'm holding in my hand right now, a 2 million download award that my friends at the network gave me. And this is for you. So it's a microphone. If you want to see what it looks like, go on to my YouTube channel. I'm holding it up right now. But I just am grateful. 2 million downloads. 2 million. Are you freaking kidding me? 2 million downloads. Who in their right mind would have ever thought that I would have a podcast with 2 million downloads? Y'all know I've started plenty of podcasts in my life, plenty being 7 different podcasts. I mean, I was podcasting back in like 2005. No, it's true. And that's kind of crazy but I was. And, all my podcasts would last 7 episodes. We're at 88 because I'm seeing how this one changes some things and it matters to you. So anyway, I'm just grateful. Thankful. It is freezing cold in my basement right now. So I have a beanie on, a hoodie on over it. I mean, I'm so cold. Our basement is freezing, but I'm not about to try to figure out how to warm it up. I'm just going to continue to put layers on myself until I get warm. Fam, I'm the guest today. So if you're wondering why, like Carlos, get to the guest, no, it's me. We're going to be talking very specifically about something that is very important to me today. And so I'm the teacher today. I'm the teacher, and I'm the author, and I'm the speaker, and I'm the podcaster. And I want to let you know, first and foremost, how grateful I am that 2 million of you have downloaded the podcast, but also how grateful I am for all of you supporting my work. It's, I can get emotional talking about it, but I can't believe I get to do what I do. And it's only because of you. All of these podcast episodes, they've spanned the spectrum of, conversations and of, topics, and you guys have stuck along for all of them. And today's topic is we're going to start peeking into my upcoming work, which I just poured my blood, sweat, and tears into, called How to Human. How to Human. 3 ways to share life beyond what distracts, divides, and disconnects us. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like we are ready for a dose of that. And before I get into some of the meat of the content that I want to talk about, I need to let you know, because the podcast listeners, you are the first ones to know this, especially if you listen to this and you're in Europe, because I upload this podcast at 2 a.m. Central Time here in the United States. And I know some of you guys are living overseas and you listen to it on your way to work way before anyone over here is awake. And you'll be the first ones to know that I am launching my pre-orders on my book today. Okay. I have a launch team with, I think there's over 1,000 people on the launch team. That's amazing. But today we're launching the pre-orders, and I'm launching my bonus bundle when you pre-order. The only way to get this is if you pre-order the book. And I would love for every single person listening to this podcast, no shame in my game, I would love for you to pre-order the book. If there's one thing that I am bad at, it's asking people to do things for me. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's asking people to do things for other people, right? Y'all know that's the truth. I got no shame in my game when it's no, listen, this person, she needs a seizure alert dog. It's going to cost $30,000 right now. Open up your Venmo, drop it. Let's go. Let's get her seizure alert dog. But for some reason with my own stuff, I just can't do it. I have such a hard time. But therapy and some friendships and mentoring have helped me realize that, no, it is very important that I let you know that I spent 2 years writing a book that I feel can really help a lot of people. So I'm asking you to do it. How do you do it? Go to carloswhittaker.com, 2 T's, carloswhittaker.com. You can go to humanbook.com, humanbook.com, howtohumanbook.com. And you can pre-order the book. And when you pre-order the book, I need everyone to know, when you pre-order the book, I am giving you guys, now listen, I was actually going to launch a course for the book, and charge what I believed all the effort and content that you were going to get would be worth. It was $300 for the course, right? And I think that was a very fair price. But what I've decided to do is, because I want people to buy the book, is if you buy the book, I'm going to give you this live experience. So it's 6 weeks. Things are dinging over here. Sorry. I gotta turn on my, focus mode to sleep. Okay. And so you're going to get the How to Human live experience if you pre-order the book today, right now. Now, today could be, if you're listening to this podcast in February, the book's already out. Okay. But if you're listening to it live as it comes out in the weeks leading up to Christmas, you can get the pre-order if you pre-order the book. So what is in this live experience? What is it? Okay, I'm just going to tell you right now. It is 6 weeks. Okay. A lot of you guys have done book clubs before. This is very similar to that. I'm going to go to carloswhittaker.com. I'm going to actually do what I'm asking you guys to do. Go to carloswhittaker.com, click on book, and click on pre-order your copy now. So let me tell you what it is. How to Human live experience. It's going to be a 6 week masterclass where we put handlebars on the 3 steps that I outlined in my book. 3 ways to share life beyond what distracts, divides, and disconnects us. Okay. Through weekly live teachings from me, myself, moi, and as well as some live conversations with some of my friends who are doing this human thing well. Who are those friends? I'll tell you in a second. I'm going to teach you guys very specifically how to be human, see humans, and free humans. And I'm telling you, we just got to turn 1 degree, just 1 degree. And I think we'll course correct humanity. Now, from repairing relationships that the last few years have damaged, we all got those, right? And I've done the work to repair many of those, and I'm going to help you do the same thing. To how exactly we don't stand on issues but walk with people. What does that really look like? Like, a lot of times I say that phrase, don't stand on issues, walk with people, that I learned from my friend Mike Ashcroft. And sometimes it's like, well, is that just like a shtick? Is that just something easy to say? No, I'm going to put teeth to it and teach us how to do it. To setting goals and sticking to them. Okay. The human experience comes with what I call laziness, which is me. So helping humans do that. We're going to talk a little bit about that. There's so much in the book, but we're just going to pull out a couple things. And then to unlocking your human superpower, and there's 9 of them, and you've got them all inside of you. Hope you guys unlock those things and so much more. So the live experience is going to help you live out the message of the book and give you the tools to help others live it out as well. It's live, which means I'm going to be doing these live, like on Zoom, and you get to be a part. Now, if you can't make the live, of course, if you pre-order the book, you'll get all the recordings. And they're going to be Wednesday, January 25th, 7:30 p.m. These are all Wednesdays, okay? The day after the book comes out, live. February 1st, February 8th, February 15th, February 22nd, and March the 1st. All at 7:30 p.m. And I want to let you know some of my friends, plus some more that I'm going to, sneak out and tease in a couple days. But first and foremost, all of these, all except for one, have been on the podcast. Your fave and my fave, Sharon McMahon. She's going to be kicking us off on the 25th. And we're going to dive deep into conversation on what How to Human looks like for her. How does she be human, see humans, and free humans? And again, these aren't going to be podcast episodes. These are strictly for the people that pre-order the book. Okay. Sharon McMahon, Danica McKellar. A lot of you guys loved her story a couple weeks ago. She's going to be one of the weeks. The Black Aunties. Y'all remember them? Y'all remember Sharon? Tell the people, Sharon. Yes, Sharon's back. Sarah's back. Melinda's back. We're going to try to get Corinne. Try to get a couple more of the Black Aunties. The Black Aunties will be one of the weeks. Donald Miller. Many of you have loved Donald Miller's writing. Don is going to really help us with like transitional human experiences. Don's written so many books that have helped me as a human. Now he's writing books that are helping me as a business human, not a businessman, a business human. And so Don's it's all Q&A. You guys are going to be able to talk to them as well. And then the Holderness family. Y'all know I love me some Holderness family. They were on The Amazing Race. You guys love all their Christmas inflatable videos. They're hilarious, but they're also really great humans. And so those are some. That's not it, right? Those are 5. There's 6 weeks of this. But there'll be probably 1, 2, 3, 4 other special guests that will be hopping on this as well. So that is the bonus if you pre-order the book. But if you don't pre-order the book, you ain't getting none of that. And I need you to be with me. Now, I've done the math, okay? I'm a math guy. If 1/10 of the people that listen to this podcast pre-order the book, this book could hit some bestseller lists. So I know not everybody can afford a book right now. I get it. Things are tough. But if you can, this is Carlos Enrique Whittaker Guzman and Chibolo Cabello asking you, would you do me a favor? It would really help me. And go and pre-order the book and then mark off on your calendars all those dates so that we can hang out together. How to Human. I listened to Dr. Cornel West. And I follow him on all the things. He's one of the brightest, wisest sages of our time. And Dr. West said something, it's so funny. This man will just say things, I don't know, just like off the cuff, walking around. And it's like the smartest, most wise thing you've ever heard in your entire life. And he was just talking, I don't know who was interviewing him, but he was just walking like in a library or something and stopped, and somebody just was asking him just about, character and as a human, like how we develop high levels of character as we continue to grow? And what does that look like? And can we actually ever get back to maybe pulling this human thing off right? And I'm going to play you his answer. It was fascinating, and it was challenging, and it was really smart. So I'm going to play this, and we're going to unpack this for just a second. Again, this is Dr. Cornel West, and I think this was at Wake Forest University. Here you guys go. Check this out.
Generation. Do you have a phone? There's always a challenge in every generation for integrity, honesty, decency, generosity, love, courage, and tenderness, and kindness to people. But we live in a moment, historically specific and contingent, where the massive commodification, the massive marketization of every nook and cranny of our hearts, minds, souls, societies, economies, and trying to generate some countervailing forces in the name of integrity and honesty is so very difficult. So I think in some ways it's a tougher challenge these days for young people, because many of them don't have access to some of the great voices and figures and movements of the past that exemplify high levels of excellence across racial and gender and class and national boundaries. So that it's, but of course, we're going to go down fight, no matter how dim and grim things are. The fight for high quality character, leadership, the fight for integrity, honesty, vision, courage, love. These things are always beyond our grasp, but always worth pursuing. It makes us human at our best, I think. There's always a challenge.
I mean, I feel like I could do my PhD's dissertation on just that statement that just rolled so eloquently off of his lips. The massive commodification, the massive marketization of every nook and cranny of our hearts, mind, soul, societies, economies. I mean, isn't that so true? And, it's funny how, we've gotten good as humans. We've gotten good at finding ways to manipulate the hearts and the souls of people for our own purpose and our own gain. And, when he said that there's a generation that's growing up that doesn't have voices that are maybe leading them towards doing this correctly, I just put an oomph in my gut. And it put something in me thinking like, why can't I be that guy? Why can't you be that guy or gal? Why can't we be that voice? It's like there's suddenly just no more voices of reason. There's no more curious individuals. You go back to episode 2 of this podcast and I talk about how empathy can heal racism, ageism, all the isms. I believe that curiosity can get us to that place. And, I don't, as eloquently as Dr. Cornel West put it, I don't shy away from some of those harder topics in the book. And when I wrote this book, it's based on the last 2.5 years of my teaching on Instagram and on my podcast. And it's based on us having difficult conversations in grace-filled ways. But I feel like what Dr. West is saying is we've got to be having these harder conversations, but do it with love, do it with compassion, do it with grace. He doesn't talk about the fruit of the Spirit, but do it with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. If we attack the parts of our souls that are wounded in humanity with those things, I feel like we're going to get it. And, I say in the book that there is, there's a course correction that needs to happen in humanity. It's like we've been knocked off course 1 degree, right? And 1 degree doesn't feel like it's a big deal. 1 degree doesn't feel like it's going to matter a lot. But my dad, he used to use this analogy of a ship all the time. And this is actually in the book as well. If you draw a line from the tip of a ship, okay, and it continues going straight for 1,000 miles, okay, if you draw a line from the tip of a ship straight and it continues going straight for 1,000 miles, it will end up in the place to where it was pointing, obviously, right? You aim it and it goes. But if that boat only moves by 1 tiny degree, if it only moves by 1 degree for a few days of travel, everything may seem legit. You're on the boat. You're like, no, we're still heading towards the landmass. We're still heading towards exactly where we're supposed to be going. It may seem like that. However, that 1 degree of change will eventually mean that the ship misses the original destination by more than 16 miles on a 960-mile journey. Like, that 1 simple degree adjustment doesn't seem like a big deal, but day after day after day, which is kind of where I feel like we are as humans, day after day after day, if we're not careful, I think that we can really end up in the wrong place. And that's where I think we have found ourselves as humanity, ending up in a completely different place than we were originally intended. Now, I tell people, as I've been already doing some interviews on How to Human, that like Carlos didn't write this book out of my own study of humanity. Okay. I am not the How to Human guide. What I've done is in the book, I began to look and to dissect, for many people, someone that is a historical figure that would win the Human of Humanity Award. Okay. For some people, that human is also their God, which I fall into that category. So what we do in the book is we actually take, and this is why the book I feel like is going to be able to appeal to people in the faith and outside the faith. We study the humanity of Jesus in this book. And there's been a lot of books that talk about the divinity of Jesus. I am not in any way, shape, or form smart enough to write any of those books. Like, I'm not. I can't. I mean, like, I barely understand that side of Jesus, right? I barely do. Like, he's God. Like, how do you understand God? Fully understand God? You ain't never going to do that. But what I can understand pretty fully is the humanity side, not the divinity side, but the humanity side. So even if you don't believe God, that Jesus is the Son of God, and you just believe him a historical figure, I believe that you can still get so much out of this book. But if you do believe that Jesus is the Son of God, I believe that you're going to get so much out of this book as well. So the net is cast very wide for this book. If you're a listener of the Human Hope podcast, and you're like, well, Carlos, I'm not a Christian. Yeah, you're still, if you believe that Jesus and Mother Teresa are like the same, the book is still going to be profoundly impactful for you. Now, I believe that Jesus is God. Okay, I'm like a blood of the cross, power of the resurrection, Holy Spirit filled dude. And of course, like, my faith comes out in the book, but I just need to let everyone know that it isn't along those lines. The book is written for you as well. And it's written with handlebars for you as well. So we use Jesus as the example, but then we take it, and the story arc has been a lot of the hard things that we've been through the last few years. And how do we do those things well? How do we go back and fix a lot of those areas where we screwed up pretty bad? I can go back to 2020 and think of about 100 things and conversations I had with people that I was not human. I was a freaking robot. And I've still have to go back and correct that 1 degree that knocked me in those relationships off course. Be Human. The book, it dives deeply into who we were truly created to be, and to step fully into that. See Humans. You want to talk about the reason why all these people are shouting and rioting and screaming? It's because they need to be seen. They want to be seen. People are desperate to be seen on the left and the right, the north and the south, whoever it is. People are desperate to be seen. And when you see them, it unlocks these superpowers that you can finally free them with. And that's the last part of the book, and helping people find that freedom. And, the Insta Familia has helped people find that freedom financially, through prayers, through sponsoring kids, through building church buildings and women's empowerment centers. There's been a lot of action past our conviction that has happened. But I just wanted to give you guys just a peek, a little sneak peek into what I believe is going to be a course correcting book for not only a lot of us individually, but a lot of our families as well. I'm just excited. So this is my 30-minute podcast episode. Real quick, asking you guys, would you please do me a solid? Can I say that and still be cool? And head to my website, or go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, wherever it is, and just type in How to Human Carlos Whittaker. You'll find my book and pre-order the book. Then what you guys can do is you can go to my website, carloswhittaker.com. I think it's /book. Let's see, carloswhittaker.com. I'm typing it in right now. No, /how. No, just go to carloswhittaker.com and then click on book. Okay. And then right there, you're actually going to be able to click on a link where you can claim your bonus. And when you click on that link, you're going to be able to put in your, I need your receipt number, your order form, all that stuff, your receipt number, just what the number is, and submit it. And then we are going to email you all the instructions to join the live Human Hope experience, not Human Hope, How to Human experience. Lots of humans in all my things. My wife has been calling my book Human Hope forever. Maybe that can be the next book. I mean, what you guys think? You want to be on this journey with me? I would love for you to be on this journey with me. I've got so much to say. I'm going to, when the book comes out, we're going to do an entire series on it. Let me go ahead and give the podcast listeners, just the podcast listeners. Nobody knows this yet. I'm going to give you guys the chapters. Okay, it's a secret. Don't tell anybody that I'm doing this. Here's the chapters. How to Human. Oh, the dedication's already out too. Okay. Section 1B, right? Be human. Be human. Be you. Be compassion. Be love. Be justice. And be wonder. Listen, I know, because when I first started talking about justice, there were some people that weren't ready for the conversation. And as you'll see, thousands upon thousands of people unfollowed me when I started having these conversations. And don't you think that I'm not a little bit nervous to write down some of these conversations in paper form for people to pass them around to each other? But it's what I've been called to do. Not everybody's going to be ready for this book. But I think everybody is ready for people to live out this book. And then once they see people living out this book, I think they're going to want to jump on as well. That's section 1B. Those are those chapter 6 chapters. Section 2, C. See humans. See bias. Yep, we all got it. Me, myself, and I, and you too. All of us have bias. See closer. What is that, Carlos? See to serve. See clearly. And see journeys. I cannot wait. That's when the book starts putting, I think, a little bit of that section right there. It gets a little harder, right? I mean, if you go back to Human Hope episode, the end of July episode, middle of August, and I talk about Acts 8 and Philip and the Ethiopian, and I talk about how he had to see him. That's what we get into that there. And then section 3, free humans. Chapter 13, free human, free loneliness, free life, free me, free indeed, free extravagantly, and free empathy. There it is. There's the chapters. I can't believe it's about to go out into the wild. The for sale date is January 24th. And if you pre-order now, you'll get all the bonus. Now, this is only the beginning bonus. There's going to be more bonuses that you're going to be getting. But this is just the big one. This is the one that I poured all my blood, sweat, and tears into, this live experience where I'm going to be teaching for 6 straight weeks with my friends. Again, Sharon McMahon, Danica McKellar, the Holderness family, the Black Aunties, Donald Miller, and a few more guests, at least 4 more guests that you're not going to want to miss. And you'll only get those if you pre-order the book. So that's it. Share a little bit from the book and just ask the Human Hope family if you would do me a favor, and every single one of you, if you wouldn't mind today, ordering a copy of the book, and go ahead and order one for your grandma too. I mean, I wouldn't mind that as well. And let's see what happens. I mean, I'll be a little bit more vulnerable for you guys. I would love to see 5,000 pre-orders before the sale date. I know that's a lot. Listen, I mean, 5,000 orders can get someone on a bestseller list. 500 sales. So 5,000 sales. So I'm not going to lie. Like, I got some hopes and dreams for this. And, this is just me asking you, giving you a sneak peek, letting you know what else I'm going to give you. But also just asking you to go to carloswhittaker with 2Ts.com, to claim your bonuses, but order the book from whatever retail you want. Friends, there it is. That is Human Hope episode numero 88. Hey, Dr. Delight, come on back in. There we are. Oh, guys, it's so hard for me to do this. It is so hard for me to ask people to help, but I can't do this without you. So the simple question is, y'all ready for this? Come on. All right, friends and fam, thanks so much for hanging out on another episode of the Human Hope Podcast. Next week, y'all's fave is coming back. Yeah, it's a different fave, but I know it's a fave because y'all talk about this fave all the time. And I can't wait. It's not just going to be me. It's going to be someone else. And then we're going to take a little break until the new year. This is Carlos Enrique Whittaker Guzman Archibald Cabello saying thank you so much for hanging out with me on another episode of the Human Hope Podcast. And I will see you next week.